Hello and welcome to No Win, No Fee, the show where all 12 of these contestants are hoping to win £4,000, and I'm hoping that they don't, because I do not get paid for presenting the show. If one of these people takes the money, then I go home with absolutely nothing. Zero. No win, no fee for me. In fact, if you don't believe me, take a look at my contract, see what it says. Remuneration. The presenter agrees that he shall receive no fee for providing the services. In fact, the only way I make anything at all is if these people fail to get that money. Then I pocket £4,000. So, let's see who's standing in the way of me and my fee today. Jackie, Martin, Mary, Luke, Katie, Claire, Sam, Steve, Bernie, Bob, John and Mick. Now, you're virtual strangers to each other. You only met just before the show. All you really know about each other are those names. So this is a game of assumption and presumption. I'm going to ask you to choose players you think are going to get a question wrong. It's sudden death, and it's all about first impressions. There are 12 of you here now. In a few minutes, I'm happy to say there are going to be just 6 of you. And we start by randomly choosing one of you. So who's going to start us off? Who's going to join me, choose a question, then pick an opponent to get that question wrong? She's right in front of me. It's going to be Katie. Katie, join me, please, and choose your question. I suppose it saves the waiting coming up first, doesn't it, Katie?
Yes, it does. OK,
choice of 2 questions, top or bottom. Which one is somebody here going to get wrong?
I'll go for the last.
It's the bottom question for Katie. Watch their faces. All you've got to go on the first impressions. Here we go. What is the name of Tony Blair's eldest son? Martin's about the only one who reacted. Mary's looking slightly quizzical, but maybe she wants you to choose her.
Luke's grinning, but I think I'll go for Mary.
So, Mary, she thinks you're going to get this one wrong. Join us and face your question. So, Mary, you've got to get this one right to stay in the game. But Katie's banking on you getting it wrong. I'll remind you of the question. What is the name of Tony Blair's eldest son? You can take your time if you like. Still think she's going to get this one wrong?
Yes, yes.
What is it about her that made you think she's a potential victim for you?
Well, she's looking terribly elegant, and I don't think the Blair family are that elegant, really. So, not that it's got anything to do with the question, but I just feel that Mary, being elegant and everything, wouldn't know the answer.
So there's something about Mary, and it's her elegance. OK.
I thought I knew the answer, actually, because I was going to say Leo. But I think that's his latest one.
OK, so you might rule that one out. Here's the question for you again. What is the name of Tony Blair's eldest son?
I'll say Jack.
If Jack Blair is the right answer, Mary is still in the game. If you're wrong, Katie goes through to the next round. The answer is... it's Ewan Blair. Mary, you're wrong. Which means, Katie, take your place in the next round.
Thank you.
And Mary, it's been lovely meeting you.
OK, thank you.
But I'm happy to say you're out. And it's as simple as that. One person is through, one person is out. Who's up next to pick a question? Bob, it's that moment. Will you join me and choose your question? Choice of 2, but would you rather be picking a question or answering a question, Bob?
I think I'd be rather picking.
You'd rather be picking? OK, so which one are you going to choose, top or bottom?
Bottom question.
The bottom question. Study their faces. Look who's flinching, who's reacting, who's going to get it wrong. Which South American capital city's name, literally translated, means good winds? Very impassive crowd in front of you, Bob.
I'm going to go for Sam.
So, Sam, he wants you out so he can keep going. Join us and face your question. Why Sam then, Bob?
Oh, she's good looking.
OK, you've got to get this right, Sam, to stay in the game. Bob is banking on you getting it wrong. Here's your question. Which South American capital city's name, literally translated, means good winds? She might be very good looking and very clever as well, Bob. It has been known. I know it's an unusual concept, but it can happen.
Yet to meet one.
OK, Sam, which South American capital city's name, literally translated, means good winds?
Acapulco.
If Acapulco in Mexico is the right answer, you're through to the next round. If you're wrong, Bob goes through. The answer is Buenos Aires, which means, Sam, you're wrong. So, Bob, take your place. You're in the next round. And, Sam, commiserations, but I'm delighted to say you're out.
Thank you.
Only 4 places left in the next round. Who's going to be occupying them? Let's find somebody to choose a question. Steve, it's your turn. Join me and choose your question. Now, you've seen how it works. You've got to pick somebody who's going to get one of your 2 questions wrong. Which one are you going to pick, top or bottom? Very different areas of general knowledge.
I think we'll go for the bottom one.
The bottom question, and you might think he was psyching you out. He spent a long time deciding. Here comes that question. Study their reaction, Steve. Which 2 England players scored in the 1966 World Cup final? Jackie has not changed expression, possibly for 3 or 4 weeks now. Bernie is, I think, trying to meet your gaze. So who's going to get that question?
I'm going to pick on Claire.
So, Claire, you are now in the firing line. Join me and face your question. And it's a question you must get right, Claire, to stay in the game. Why Claire, Steve?
Well, she was facing me. She obviously wasn't around in 1966.
We're going to find out. And we're not
We
talking
are.
about just any old football match, are we?
No, no.
OK. Here we go, Claire. Have a think. Which 2 England players scored in the 1966 World Cup final?
I know one for sure. Jeff Hurst. The other one is a choice of 2, and I'm going to go for... I really ought to know this. People will be screaming at me if I get it wrong. Nobby Stiles.
If the answer is Jeff Hurst and Nobby Stiles, you're still in the game. If you're wrong, you're out. You said Jeff Hurst.
I did.
What was the other person you were thinking of who wasn't and still isn't Nobby Stiles?
Bobby Moore.
Right. The answer is Jeff Hurst and Martin Peters. Claire, you're wrong. Which means, Steve, you're through to the next round. And Claire, I'm happy to say goodbye. You're out. We're halfway through the first round. Doesn't time fly when you're having fun? And I'm having fun scything my way through the opposition. Who's up next to choose a question? John. It's you, me, and your colourful kimono.
Oh, fabulous.
Join me now and choose your question.
Right.
Have you braced yourself?
I think so.
You ready for the moment? Top or bottom? Which one is somebody here going to get wrong?
I think we have to be on top.
You're going for the top one?
Yeah.
OK. Study these people's reactions. You've got to pick somebody who doesn't know the answer to this. Which footballer was the BBC sports personality of 1990? Martin's got his chin down, I think, for the first time. Luke's very impassive.
I think Jackie.
So it's another footy question and another woman. Jackie, join us and face your question.
I know the answers to the footy.
They may well do. So why did you choose her, John?
I don't know, the lipstick.
OK. I wonder if
It's
it's a
too
lucky
bright.
shade or whether he's just envious. Here we go, Jackie. You must get this right to stay in the game. Which footballer was the BBC sports personality of 1990?
It's a long time ago, and it's going to have to be a complete guess. I know nothing about football, but I'm going to go for Gary Lineker.
If Gary Lineker is the right answer, John, you're out. Jackie, if you're wrong, you leave us. The answer is Paul Gascoigne. Jackie, you are wrong. Which means, John, you're through to the next round. And Jackie, before the final whistle is blown, I'm happy to say you're out. Just 2 places left. Who's up next to choose a question that could win them £4,000? And it's Martin. No use gazing heavenward, Martin. You're coming here to choose your question. Two choices, top or bottom, and 3 people to put one of those questions to. You've got to pick somebody who's going to get it wrong, so choose your question first. Which is the most difficult for somebody else, top or bottom?
I think I'll go for the top one.
The top question.
Top question.
They've got to get this wrong for you to stay in the game, so watch their reactions. Who's he going to call up, Luke, Bernie or Mick? Who wrote the 1897 story, The Invisible Man? They aren't giving you much to go on, are they?
Nothing at all at the moment, no. I think I'll go for Mick.
Mick, you're all that's standing between Martin and the next round. He thinks you're going to get it wrong. Join us and face your question. Not much of a reader then, do you think, Mick?
I don't know, he's sweating an awful lot, so I think he might not know.
Very hot under these lights. He's been there a long time.
So have I.
Here's the question, Mick. You have to get this right to stay in the game. Who wrote the 1897 story, The Invisible Man?
Good question. And I think it's going to have to be a guess. However, I think the options there, I'm thinking things like Robert Louis Stevenson, Bram Stoker, but not Dickens. I go for Robert Louis Stevenson.
If Robert Louis Stevenson, who wrote Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, is the right answer, you're through to the next round. Otherwise, Martin takes that place. The Invisible Man was written by the person who wrote The Time Machine and War of the Worlds, H.G. Wells. Mick, you're wrong. Which means, Martin, you take the penultimate place in the next round. And Mick, I'm happy to say you are out. Only one more chance at my £4,000, but who's going to be up to choose a question and who's going to answer, Bernie or Luke? And it's you, Luke. You get the choice of questions, but you don't get a choice of opponents. There's only Bernie left for you. Join me and choose your question. So, it's tough being the last couple up here, isn't it?
Oh, burden of choice.
At least we remove one element of choice from you. You haven't got to worry about your opponent. He's there. There he is. So which question is he going to get wrong, do you think? Top or bottom?
I'm going to go for the top one.
The top question. Now, Bernie, in the interest of fairness, as you're the last person left, when I read the question, we'll let you stay there for a few seconds to give you the same thinking time as everybody else. Here is your question. Luke thinks you're going to get this one wrong. What character was portrayed by Mr. T in the television show The A-Team? I think he's had enough thinking time. Bernie, join us and face your question. So without giving away any clues, why did you pick that question to Fox, Bernie?
He doesn't look like a daytime TV sort of person.
Bernie, you must get this right to stay in the game. If you're wrong, you're out. Only one place left in the final round. Bernie, what character was portrayed by Mr. T in the television show The A-Team?
Well, I think Luke is a bit concerned because the A-Team used to be on prime time when I had children. So I think daytime TV's not got anything to do with this.
Or is he still bluffing, do you think? A lot of money at stake.
Mr. T played Hannibal in the A-Team.
Hannibal, whose catchphrase was, "I love it when a plane comes together." Mr. T did in fact play B.A. Baracus. Bernie, you are wrong. What a bluffer, though. Which means, Luke, you get the last place in the final round. And Bernie, I'm happy to say commiserations, but you're out. And well done to all 6 of you for getting this far. You've managed to eliminate an opponent each, either because you're a good judge of character, you're clever, or maybe you've just been lucky. But let's hope along the way you've been paying attention to everyone else's strengths and weaknesses, because now it's time for you to go head-to-head with each other. And, of course, with me. Because if none of you win, I put £4,000 in my pocket. Otherwise, I get nothing at all from this show. So I hope it's no win, no fee for you as we all move closer to that money. And in round 2, things get decidedly trickier. Judgment of character is now crucial. You've got to choose your opponent before hearing the question. I then read that question, and to stay in the game, you tell me if you think your opponent is going to get it right or wrong. As always, we start by randomly choosing one of you. So who's going to be up first? Who's a good judge of character? Who can pick an opponent they can suss out? Let's find out. And we're starting with our only surviving female contestant. Katie, join me and choose your opponent. First one up last time as well, Katie.
Absolutely.
And it's very simple. You pick an opponent, somebody you think you've got the measure of, somebody you can read, and then I read that person a question, and before we hear the answer, you tell me whether they're going to get it right or wrong.
Well, they all look like suspects to me, but the biggest suspect is John.
John, the fickle finger of fashion has selected you to face your question. Yes, it's the
kettle.
Joseph and Josephine and their coats of many colours. OK, you've chosen John.
Yes.
Was it just his dress sense?
Oh, he's got a lovely manner about him. I want to see more of him.
And a lovely open face.
Yes,
you think,
he
you
has.
hope, you pray, you can read.
Yes.
John, as always, you must get this answer right to stay in the game. Before you answer, we're going to hear from Katie. She's going to predict whether you're going to get it right or wrong. Study that face. Here we go. Here's your question, John. What was the scarecrow missing in The Wizard of Oz? What's going through your mind, Katie?
You know, it's such a well, no, I'm not going to give it away, but I think he knows, but I'm going to say he doesn't. I'm going to go contrary to what I think. I'm going to say he doesn't.
Have you got an early bus or something to catch? You'd be going home.
I came on buses.
You could be going away that way, or you could go away in a limo or a lovely cab with £4,000.
I know.
You see,
I know.
if you say he's going to get it right, and he does get it right, you're both still in the game. But if you say he's going to get it right and he gets it wrong, you're both out. And I'd like that, so don't let me influence you.
I know, I know. He's sweet, isn't he? But I'm still going to say no, no.
He's going to get it wrong.
Yeah, he'll get it wrong.
John, you must get this right to stay in the game, and you'll have the added satisfaction of sending Katie out. Here's your question. What was the scarecrow missing in The Wizard of Oz?
I do believe it was a brain.
Well, the Tin Man needed a heart, the lion needed some courage, but the scarecrow did need a brain. John, you're right. Which means, John, you're still in the game, back in line.
Thank you.
Katie, I'm happy to say, follow the yellow brick road, sit down, you're out. That's it, it can be sudden death as quick as that. Who's up next to prove what a good judge of character they are or aren't? Martin. Join me and choose your opponent. Could be £4,000 riding on this for you. Who do you think you can read? Who can you suss out?
I think we'd go for Bob.
Bobby thinks he's got the measure of you. Join us and face your question. So why Bob?
Don't know, I've got a brother called Bob. Looks like him, about the same height.
OK, Bob, as always, you must get this answer right to stay in the game. Before we hear that answer, Martin's going to predict whether you're going to get the answer right or wrong. Here we go, watch him closely. During which war was the charge of the Light Brigade?
I think it's a tough one, and I think it's a difficult decision.
So you think he's going to get it wrong?
I think he'll get it wrong.
Let's have your answer. During which war was the charge of the Light Brigade?
I'm going to go for the Crimean War.
The Crimean War. If that's the right answer, Bob, you are still in the game, and we've lost Martin. If you're wrong, you're out. The Crimean is the right answer. Which means, Bob, you're still in the game. Off you go. And Martin, I'm happy to salute you and say, sit down, you're out. Only 4 people remaining between me and my £4,000. Who's going to pick an opponent next? And it's going to be the return of Bob, this time picking somebody else to put under the spotlight. Bob, join me and choose an opponent. If you get the money, you'll have earned it, won't you? Who have you got the measure of? You're a good judge of character, would you say? Who do you want to go head-to-head with?
I think Luke.
Luke, he's weighed you up and he thinks he can see right through you. Join us and face your question. Of course, Luke has yet to answer a question. Why him?
I think I can judge his character well. He's got a good smile. I think he'll smile just at the right time for me.
As ever, Luke, you have to get this answer right to stay in the game. Before you answer, Bob has got to predict whether you're going to get it right or wrong. Take a look at him, Bob. Here comes his question. In The Simpsons, what is the name of Bart's headmaster? What kind of programmes do you think he likes?
Everybody likes The Simpsons.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he'll easily get this right.
Does that mean he will get it right, you think?
He'll get it right.
I'm pleased with that answer, because if he gets it wrong, you're both out. Him because he got the wrong answer, you because you made the wrong prediction. Don't let me influence you, £4,000.
Yeah, no problems. He should really, without a doubt, get it right.
He's going to get it right?
Definitely.
Luke, he's putting his faith in you. You must get this right. Could cost you £4,000 if you're wrong, and cost him £4,000. There we go.
I think it's Mr. Seymour.
He's actually Mr. Skinner, Principal Skinner, although his first name is Seymour. Luke, you are wrong. Which means Bob was also wrong to put his faith in you. Sit down, both of you. You are both out. Of course, it seems tough when you're out. £4,000 at stake. Who's going to get that money, Steve, John, or me? Let's find out. Steve is going to predict whether John does or doesn't know the answer to our final question. Will you please both join me for £4,000? So we've seen John in that position, Steve. You were studying his reactions, I know. I'm going to ask him a question. Before he answers, you tell me whether he's going to get it right or wrong. But as ever, John, if you want £4,000, you must give me the right answer. But don't let me influence you, Steve. It's up to you. Here's the question. Who was the Soviet leader at the time of the Cuban Missile Crisis in 1962? Penny for your thoughts.
I'm flying in the wind here, honestly. I really don't know. I'm just mentally spinning a coin, and I'm going to guess that he doesn't know. I think he's going to get it wrong.
You think he's going to get it wrong?
I think he's going to get it wrong.
John, if you do get it wrong, you lose £4,000. Steve, if he gets it right, you lose £4,000. One thing is certain. Whatever happens, I'm getting absolutely nothing for presenting the show today, so bad luck to both of you. Here's that final question, and it's going to be no win, no fee for me. John, who was the Soviet leader at the time of the Cuban Missile Crisis in 1962?
Oh, God. Basically, no idea, but I'm going to go for a guess. Pushkin.
Pushkin?
Yeah.
If Pushkin, the author of Eugene Onegin,
Oh, well, no.
is the right
Well,
answer,
that was wrong.
you've got £4,000. The answer is Khrushchev. John, you are wrong. Which means, John, it's been fun.
Okay.
But sit down, you're out. Because Steve has just won £4,000. And you saw it happen right here on No Win, No Fee. And that's what happened to me today. No win for me, no fee. I presented the show for absolutely nothing. Steve got my money. Join us again the next time and see who ends up with the cash.